Trunks here, strong legs.
Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. I'm here with Dylan, and I want to talk about. It's a serious title. This is your competition, and what we want to do is highlight some of the craziness we've came across with our students. Dylan helps me with my financial education company. He's in a lot of lessons. As a matter of fact, spearheads a handful of the courses, and want to talk about what your competition's like, because I don't think a lot of people understand when prices go up in real estate or down, crypto when it goes up or down, stocks when it goes up or down. You don't really know who you're trading against, and it's important to understand the education level. And one of the lessons, and we're going to tell you some pretty crazy stories of emails and people getting irate and that stuff. But I want to tell you right now, Russell Brunson came out with a text the other day or a tweet, and it said, what was it exactly? You know it better than me.
Oh man, he's come out with
the value transfer though, when money is used.
So basically, he came up. Russell Brunson, if you don't know, he's founder at ClickFunnels, amazing direct response marketer. He hundreds of millions of dollars in sales and built a successful software company. And so he basically says that without a transfer of value, so without money exchanging hands, transformation can't take place. And it's just a lesson for life where there always has to be some sort of sacrifice in order to get any sort of true transformation. There's no magic where you just snap your fingers and boom, like you're the version of yourself that you wish you would be. There's always some type of cost that you have to pay. And when it comes to courses and things, what we've learned is that what gets the most transformation is people actually pulling out their credit card, they go into the sales page, putting their information in and hitting buy. That's one phase. And for a lot of people, that's
a big step.
Yeah. And you can have an amazing transformation just by believing and saying, look, I'm going to invest in myself.
Yeah.
And then the next phase is actually going in and doing the learning, the education.
Yeah. And so we get a lot of, we have the whole full spectrum that we want to talk about, like crazy emails, people getting upset. And we're going to tell you about specific ones. But first I have to tell you, it's really sad. And I hate this truth because I wanted to do all these low ticket items and the least amount of transformation, and people don't take the course because we get to see that.
Yeah, we do. And, like sometimes what I've learned selling courses online is sometimes like the product that you're selling, that you want to be selling, isn't actually the product that the consumer is buying. Because basically meaning that what they get out of it might not necessarily be what the course content is, but the lesson they learn from that process in itself.
Yeah.
And, it's just because the reality is most people that buy any sort of course or product online, even products in the real world, they don't use them.
Yeah. And what's really sad to me is the more someone spends, the less emails we get about, I lost my password.
Yeah.
That's absolutely insane to me. And there are things about like the platform that we use that I don't like, right? There's some things I like about it, but I'll give you an example. In sales, they don't want friction because they understand that they're dealing with mostly people that are lazy and they don't want to work hard. So they want the sale. So they don't make you repeat your email. So we get tons of, hey, my account disappeared. It's like, well, you misspelled your own email, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that insane?
Yeah, we get to see this. We get to see the struggles that like the masses can have.
Yeah.
And I think the lesson we want to get in this video is like those people are out in the market in the world with you.
Yeah.
People that they don't read their emails, they don't read the lessons, they don't even know what they buy. We see orders coming all the time.
Oh my gosh.
Where it's a $10 product and the person is paying hundreds of dollars, like the full price.
We just saw that yesterday, or just now today. We refunded somebody for a $49 course. They went and paid the full $500. So we just immediately refunded them $450 without them knowing or asking, because that was never our intent. Our intent was never to sell the course for $500. It's a marketing thing. Like our goal is to get you, like it was an LLC course.
Yeah.
My goal was to put so much content into a course with a full-time attorneys, corporate attorneys, to where you don't screw up and you have the most amazing experience starting a business, right? Because then if you bought that product for $50, which is, I think that's like 10 minutes of Garrett's time, if that, right?
Oh yeah,
it's probably $500 an hour now. But people just go and buy these things, and they get. Then we've seen things like, you've seen videos where I'm like, hey, I just bought this crypto. I would not pay over this price. Like last week, I said 48 cents. It went to 80 cents like within that day.
Oh yeah.
And now people would say it's dumped. I haven't sold any. It's back down to, guess what? It's 46 cents, 47 cents right now.
Yeah.
And so, and there's other market things at play, but those are the people that you're trading against, right? And so we have all this data. So let's come up with some zingers of people just becoming irate. Like, go for it. Like,
I mean,
tell stories.
one was with a few were with the base course. I did a tweet on X, and someone emailed, and they were like, "I already know everything in here, and this course is way too short. It's not worth the money." And you know, like, and they were mad. And
It is a really short course. Why?
because it's pre-filming.
That's right. And the first video that they have to watch is, hey, this is a pre-filming sale use code. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put a link down below because sometime this week we're going to release our first highlighted project that we're wanting to teach people about. So if you guys want it before that, the sale link's down below. We reopen the sale.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the first video is us describing, hey, this is a pre-filming. As long as this video is up, the course is still being created. We're still adding a ton of stuff. And like that person says, I already know all of this. Right? Well, yeah, it's the introduction video.
And it's funny when that happens is the moment you think you know everything, right? That's the moment you start losing.
Yeah.
Right? Because you start getting blind spots and you start missing out on things. You're not looking for how things are changing or new dynamics.
Yeah.
And you're not looking to receive new information. And I always got to do that with myself when I think I know everything. And I'm like, that's when you need to double down and study more.
Totally agree. Well, you know, and we're a part of other groups, and Dylan's attended masterminds and stuff where they cost upwards of, $50,000, $100,000 a year. And we've heard stories from friends where someone will come in, pay $100,000 for a seat. They're there one person was there for 20 minutes, slam their book shut and goes, I thank you. I have my answer. I'm going to leave, and walked out the door. And the story goes, made well over 10 times the amount of money he spent on that one idea. Because successful people know that all they're looking for is one idea, and then they're going to implement it. Poor people with poor mindsets, all they're doing is counting how much of their time they just traded for what they just bought, because they're slaves. A slave is paid for their time, not their creativity and their ingenuity or their energy, right? So we're seeing this more and more. You were telling me some zinger stories earlier, people just coming unglued saying, hey, you authorized my credit card to buy a course.
Oh yeah.
That one.
Yeah. Someone, they logged in with the wrong emails. And we're not saying this to like call anyone out, but just to paint a picture of like things.
These are real stories.
Yeah.
This is their competition.
They bought a course with an email. They logged out and they logged in with a new email.
Yeah.
This is a common thing. People think that the course platform translates to all of their emails. It doesn't. It's tied to the email you use specifically to purchase the course.
Yeah.
Well, they logged in with another email, and they thought that we had auto-authorized their credit card and charged them for something that they didn't authorize.
They're yelling at you on email, and he's like the most mellow person. I don't deal well with that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And you're trying to explain to them, here is the day you bought it, and it was a course for $10.
From over a year ago.
Exactly. And they still just cannot fathom. And like what you said to them very nicely, considering that you can't comprehend your own, I'm summarizing, your own actions, you should not be in the base course. It's too advanced for you.
Yeah, because I want the students to learn and do well. Then I have no problem telling someone, hey, like, you need to go back to the basics. I mean, I get that a lot with people asking me these questions that indicate they don't quite know what they're doing, and they're talking about some of these altcoins and projects that we mentioned are more advanced topics, and like staking and DeFi, and there's really cool stuff there. But if you aren't educated and you're moving into that space, that's how you get wrecked. And I don't want our students to get wrecked.
Nope.
I don't want them to have a bad time. I don't want them to lose their money.
Yeah.
And so I'll tell someone, hey, look, you're asking questions that are like more to beginner level. Like, you need to go back to the beginner courses, learn that stuff, and then move forward.
Exactly. And someone's saying right here, they want instant gratification. That's exactly it. That's why they're poor. Because of that mindset. It actually takes really hard work to become a millionaire. It really does. Now, once you make your first million, the second one is easier. That is very true. Because once you learn how to flip $10 and make 20, or you take the 20 and make 40, then you start flipping hundreds and thousands. The next is hundreds of thousands. And it does become harder in the sense when you're in one niche to be able to flip large amounts of money. Mm-hmm. But with that information and knowledge, you know how to take that same info and translate it into another asset class.
Yeah.
One other issue that we've got with students, and by and large, just so you know, we're probably talking about less than 1/10 of 1% of our students. Matter of fact, if you guys could do me a favor, a shout out, type 100 if you've taken one of our courses and benefited from any of the lessons, and being able to make money or a strategic move in some way, because that at least helps my ego,
Yeah.
helps my feelings, because that is the goal, is always helping everyone to succeed. I can't have a successful financial education company if my students are just spending money, not taking the courses, and not making money, right? Is Al watching the...
I guess he is.
Oh man, I used the wrong cell phone for the live stream. We got a group text right now. We've got a bunch of successful entrepreneurs that are meeting us in New Orleans, and all we're doing is going over strategies, business ideas, things like that. Yep, now the phone's gonna be going off.
Yeah, it's
I
all right.
got a hold of the thing. All right. So where was I going with that?
Getting something of value out of the courses.
Yeah,
right?
did people get things out of value?
Yeah.
Well, that's the point, is just to get that one nugget. But poor people, they want everything handed to them on a silver platter, and that's why they're never going to be successful.
Yeah.
I see it every day in the comment section of the YouTube channel,
Yeah.
where someone will watch a video literally 6 months ago about like a crypto XCN, right? Still hold half of mine, probably one of the largest holders on earth.
Yeah.
People don't understand how this works. All these plebs that aped in, and then they would comment like months later, "Oh yeah, I'm buying," and you're like, "Whoa, the whole scene's changed."
Yeah.
Justin Sun stepped in, and that whole thing got wrecked, and a bunch of, a sell wall on top, which our courses teach.
Yeah, and the whole market's changed, right?
Yeah.
And you have to consider those new variables in your decision making.
Yeah, and so you watch it just in the free content. I see people all the time go, I didn't learn this until it was too late in life. Or not too late. It's never too late. It's just later in life. I wish I would have known this, how important it is to pay for information.
Yeah.
Like I talk about the taking someone out to coffee and buying someone dinner.
Yeah.
The richer you get, more people just want to take advantage of you. I'm seeing that like left and right with me. And, I didn't get where I was by a free handout. Those people are just fleeting, and they'll never be anything. They might scam you out of a little bit. In the end, they're just never going to be on top, right? And that's where we want you guys to be, whether in real estate, crypto, any of the topics, business,
whatever it is, whatever your job, sports, education.
Yeah, like getting into a mentorship role, like mentoring other people, but then expecting to be mentored, go and pay for that time. It is absolutely game changing.
Yeah, because I think one thing that happens is you look at it, you're like, all right, part of it is you think that you're giving someone else your money.
Yeah.
But that's almost the wrong way. It's like you value the information, and you also value yourself and your time and your energy. And so it's a value exchange of something that you can get value out of. And why would you want to go and get value out of something or someone that you don't value? And so it's generous to them, saying, hey, I respect and appreciate your experience. And I also value myself enough to let go of this money and give it to you, because it's going to be in good hands. And the knowledge and experience that I want to gain from you is going to be well served with me. And so you're treating yourself right, and you're treating them right. And that synergy is how you really move up, versus a lot of people think it's adversarial, or you're trying to take advantage of someone or whatnot.
Yeah.
But it's really a mutually beneficial value exchange.
Yeah. I mean, haven't we had people like swear they bought a course and they couldn't even prove, like we couldn't find their account ever, and they never, like they couldn't even show us on a credit card statement where they bought it. And they're like, refund our money. I'm like, sure, what do I refund? Or that people don't understand, like 6 months later, I don't want a refund. I haven't taken the course. Like, well, we can't even physically do that. Like, the payment, the credit card processor does not allow that.
Yeah.
That's not how the real world works.
Yeah.
And
we have the policies there, for our reason to make things work for us, but it also is for the end user.
Yeah.
Because, you got to hold yourself accountable to decisions you make. I mean, this is the real world. And, if you do that, you'll be better off. Sometimes you make mistakes. I've paid thousands of dollars for programs that I'm like, this is going to be really valuable. I'm going to use it. And then it became less of a priority, and I didn't use it. And you know what? Like, I would love to have that money back, but I have to take that on the chin and be like, that's a lesson of life that I have to learn, that, maybe it wasn't the right thing for me. And I paid the money and I got the experience. And so I can look at it negatively, or I can look at it positively, like, well, I won't make that mistake again. Or now I know I learned a very valuable lesson. So,
and that's what's tough, because we're now transitioning into a different way of teaching this next year. It's going to be completely different than I've done before, because it's quite frankly difficult with sometimes that mentality, dealing with it. Well, you know what? Our phone's blowing up, so I better get going. But hopefully this makes sense to you guys, because to be honest with you, I want you to understand what your competition is like, because if you're the type of person that's investing in yourself, actually putting hard-earned money, dollars to work for your own education, like, you're head and shoulders ahead of everyone else.
Yeah.
You're going to crush it. You know? So it's just getting in those groups. So
Yeah, yeah. Most people won't even take the time of day to learn something new, to push themselves out of their comfort zone, to change anything about their lives. And when you realize that's just a thing of human nature, and that's a thing that the masses do, when you can break that cycle and that mindset and that set of actions in yourself, that's where you can really start changing and transforming, and that's when you can really start winning. And maybe it isn't overnight, but you compound that with time and consistency, and you start getting better and better at finding the things that are valuable to focus on and to learn. And next thing you know, you're going to be in a place that you never thought you would be, and it's going to be for the better.
I want to answer something Neil brought up just
Yeah.
now, because he knows we're in New Orleans and we're next to a gold symposium.
Yeah.
Neil, after last night, what I experienced, the amount of disdain towards me, I will not be going into that room again. Okay. So, and that's something that's really good, because a
Yeah.
lot of you have watched how I called the top of silver market and the gold market, right?
Mhm.
And we're down what, over 10% or around 10% right
Yeah.
now. Okay. You got a room full of people that's all they do. They haven't diversified their investment mindset to go from, own some precious metals, own some real estate, own some crypto. They're just so angry and bitter at me. Like, it was insane.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
talked with like Mike Maloney last night and for a little bit, and Peter Schiff, and they're just completely clueless about. I'm telling you, like, I'm not going to go back into the room. So I got all kinds of hate. Jeez, and it's like I've been the biggest proponent of that market, and I still am, but I'm not buying at the top and telling my subscribers to buy at top. That entire room is full of people that only make money if you buy their silver or gold or their mining stock.
Mhm.
And that just makes me absolutely just bent, Crypto, yeah, look, crypto market's down right now. It's dipped. If people got in earlier, they're all up. You'll all be up if you hold and don't sell on this dip during this next boom. But
Yeah.
most people will just sell because they're uneducated plebs. And I got to be honest with you, it's just, you get more and more bitter the more poor mindset and broke mindset people that come out and just scream and yell in the comment section,
Yeah.
because they're complete tools.
Yeah, and there's not much you can do about it. You just
No.
got to shift your mindset, and you got to focus on. You can't let the haters and the masses get you down.
I like that comment right there. I can't say it out loud.
Oh yeah,
Because again, people will race out and do something stupid.
yeah, they want you to advertise their.
Yeah, they want me to pump their bags.
Yeah.
Don't you love that? Sweet.
Yeah.
All right. With that being said, thank you so much for watching. Dylan and the Ninja are out. See you guys.